What's up, fellas? So today we're here to talk about, should red pill men have kids? Basically, I'm gonna lay out the pros and the cons to having kids, and you guys have to make up your decision on what you want to do. Okay. As for me, the jury is still out. I made a video a couple years ago called it's already been out on YouTube. How red pill men should leave a legacy, right? And basically, I was talking about how writing a book equates to leaving a legacy, which now that I'm thinking back on it, was high when I made that video, because as we all know, you can't correlate writing a goddamn book to having kids that's leaving a legacy, right? All right, that was a good coping mechanism, right? But let's just be honest, ain't none of us gonna be, oh, I wrote a book, so I don't gotta have, all right, get the fuck out of here. Okay, let's just be real. That's a bunch of bull. At the end of the day, we all are men. We all have paternal instincts. We all have the instincts to replicate something that looks like us. For all you guys that don't know, right? You young guys, the reason why your hormones drive the way you drive, Mother Nature is trying to force you to have sex. That's why you think about ass 24/7. That's why you're over here watching dating coach videos. That's why you done read every dating coach book that ever came out. It's because our hormones, our testes, increase that testosterone that makes us want to procreate, have sex. Okay, and it damn sure ain't doing all that so you can go write a book and say I left a legacy. Nature wants us to have kids to keep the earth going. All right. And the reason why it makes it feel so good is because it makes you want to have sex. If it was painful, your ass wouldn't want to have it. Or if it was mediocre, your ass didn't want to have it. The reason it feels so good and having an orgasm feels so good is because it wants us to have fucking kids. That's the way it is. All this keeps going if you have kids. If everybody around here writing books and not having kids, talking about somebody left a legacy, well, guess what? In a couple thousand years or a few thousand years, the earth will fucking end. Not even that fucking long, right? The average lifespan is what, 70 years old? So in a couple of hundred years, the world will end if nobody's fucking and having kids. That's why our hormones are the way they are. So I'm gonna lay out some pros and cons, and you guys make up your own fucking mind. This is gonna be something that every red pill man has to cross. The guys over here that don't have kids, this is gonna be something you have to contemplate. All right, and it's just the way it is, guys. Something I'm gonna have to contemplate one day also. The jury is still fucking out, and after y'all hear these cons, you will see why the jury is still out. But I'm gonna do the pros first. I want to make you feel good first, right? Before I dash your dreams. Okay. So the first number one pro, guys, to having a kid is leaving a legacy, obviously. I was watching the Titanic, and John Jacob Astor was the richest man on the earth at that time, I believe. All right, this 1912. And his family still owns the St. Regis and all that type of stuff, right? And for all you guys that's in New York, if you ever been on Astor's Place and stuff like that, all this is with his family. And so he has a great legacy. Now let's hypothetically say he didn't have no kids, but he was the richest man in the world. His legacy would have, he would have went down in the history books, right? Because he created something. But let's hypothetically say he had no kids and it would have stopped at him right there, right? And I don't know if he had any brothers or not, but let's just assume he didn't have any brothers, right? And so what I'm trying to say is, he would have had a legacy, right? Because he created something. But if you don't got something to leave it to, it kind of dies over time is what I'm saying. But his name is still resonating today. Why? Because of the St. Regis. Why? Because of his family. Okay, do y'all guys grasp all this? So you leave a legacy. Now, I don't really know how important it is to leave a legacy if you're a fucking trash man. I mean, I guess you can leave a trash man legacy, but this is going to be more for guys who are on the verge of some greatness, okay? I am not saying you got to invent, the Tesla, be this world-renowned great guy that walked the earth. But I'm just by and large saying that if you're a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, that's something. If you somebody that, if you are not striving to be great, I don't know, other than just having kids, something that carries your name, you really not gonna leave a legacy other than just leaving your name. Okay, but it would like somebody like John Jacob Astor or Bill Gates or Michael Jordan or LeBron James. These names are gonna carry on. If they didn't have kids, yeah, you live on for a few decades, but your name kind of dies. I was just watching The Men Who Built America. I done seen it a bunch of times, but I was watching it again, and they were showing the Rockefeller the Fourth, and I'm like, God damn! And he probably gonna have a kid. He probably have kids, just like the Kennedys. Like these names, they carry on, and every time you hear the names, you're like, oh shit! It's just like they're alive again. You know, when you hear the Kennedy or you hear somebody like that or one of those great names, while watching Martin Luther King the third or whatever his name was, the third or fourth or something, and I'm like, when you hear those names and their descendants are carrying those names, it's like they're still alive. That's what it feels like. Okay, guys. So leaving a legacy, guys, it matters. And if you're just great. Say you create something, whatever, that changes the world, it's good, but having something with your bloodline, it matters more. And that's just something we're going to have to deal with, whether we want to cross that road or not. I know a lot of you guys already done made your mind up that you probably is going to have kids, but I want you to listen to my cons first, all right? So just be ready to deal with that. And like I say with anything, guys, you do what you want to do, just deal with the consequences. I don't want to hear no crime, okay? I could bust out a bunch of kids right now with all the women I want right now. I'm dating right now. Y'all guys know when you make money, and one of these girls right now have my baby. Right now, you know I'm making money. Worst thing they thinking about is the worst come to worst, I get child support. If any girl I'm fucking with right now will have my baby right now, today. If I call any girl I'm dating right now and say, hey, I want you to have my baby. Well, now one of them say no. But I know what comes with that. Okay, so that's the thing. So I don't want to hear about no crying. You have to come to that decision yourself. Number 2, guys, unconditional love. Kids offer you unconditional love. Why is that important? A lot of y'all guys don't know. Most of the love you're going to get on earth is going to be conditional. AMS, we love you as long as you don't do nothing to disappoint us. See, that's conditional love. Unconditional love is, I go out and kill a bunch of kids, my kids are still going to love me for the most part. You have some people who disown their father, but for the most part, usually the only people who are going to give you unconditional love are going to be your kids and your mama. And some of you, sometimes your father, but usually your mama and your kids. The father disown your ass, right? The father just, for the most part, the father don't love as hard as the mama. Let's just be real. All of us kind of know that. You do something, you gay, your dad is like, he's not my son. For the most part, not everybody. I don't want all police over here. I'm just saying some fathers, they'll disown, some mothers for that matter, right? Well, let's be honest, some mothers too. Some parents will disown your ass. Kids, I typically haven't seen that. They are the only thing that rarely, that they the ones that, because I have seen some kids disown their parents, like say you a drug addict or something like that. They might not act like they know you or something like that. But these are going to be the ones that the least are going to resent you for your mistakes and your flaws. Your mom and dad, sometimes if they Bible thumpers and you not a Bible thumper or they can disown you. And the kids typically won't, unless you wasn't involved in any lies or abused them or something like that. For the most part, they're going to love you regardless. Only time I've seen kids not really love their father or parents is when the parents did something specifically. Say you went in their lives. Okay, say you went in invested into their lives growing up. Then they probably will. Say you did something to them specifically. You was a bad parent, you abused them or something like that, physically or something like that, or mentally. Then they will. But by and large, if you did everything on the up and up and you raise your kids the right way and you love them, they won't disown you pretty much for anything you do. Okay, guys, to have that unconditional love. Most of us think we're love. Yeah, you love, as long as you don't do nothing to fuck it up. As long as you don't do nothing to embarrass us. I love you. That's conditional love. That's not the same thing with that. Conditional love is what a woman gives you. All right, you want unconditional love. You've seen Jenner, that dude Jenner on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Caitlyn Jenner. You seen which ones love him unconditionally, and some like, okay, they came around to it, right? But that's what you want. You, even if one of you guys decide to become a drag queen one day, you want somebody that's gonna love you unconditionally. All right, and I think Caitlyn Jenner's sons, they was cool with it from the get go. I think Kim and them was having issues with it at the beginning, but they came around mainly because of public, pressure and stuff like that. You can't do that type of stuff no more. But as far as I can tell, his sons seem to accept it from the get go, like we don't care. And that's what you want, guys. You want unconditional love. Love my flaws too. Number 3, guys, pro to having a kid, makes you more responsible. Most men, more responsible. Most of us, we kind of coast through life. We kind of like, oh, well, we don't kind of take life serious. Won't nothing help you grow up faster than having kids. That's a responsibility, especially to have something you love more than you love yourself. Typically, will make you do things that you normally wouldn't even do for yourself, right? That's the thing with that. It'll make you real responsible. So you'll go out, if it's just you and you don't got this responsibility, you probably, keep coasting through life. Not everybody. Some guys don't need kids to get responsible for, but for a lot of guys, if you got kids, all of a sudden, that guy who stepped on your shoe, maybe before I would have started a fight, but now that I got kids, I got to be more responsible than that. You learn to control your temper. I tell you guys about the job I got fired in Alabama for getting into it with the manager and stuff like that. That don't happen if I got 3 kids at home. I promise you that. I guarantee you that. I told y'all guys I walked off a couple of jobs in my early 20s. Just walked off. I don't want to do them no more. Just left at lunchtime. That don't happen if I got 2 miles at home to feed. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure. I was pretty irresponsible at that time, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have done that. I would like to at least think I wouldn't have done that, not with miles at home to feed. But it's just me. I just quit. Who cares? I figure it out. So it makes you more responsible. It makes you, because now you're responsible for somebody else. So you would grow up quick. A lot of you guys kind of like, you go to jobs, you work 4 jobs a year, you quit this job, you quit that job. I guarantee you a lot of times that don't happen if you got kids at home to feed. Or even if they ain't at home to feed. You're just taking care of them. And the last one I came up with, have someone for you when you get old. To have someone be there for you when you get old. And that's, to me, that is one of the biggest ones, because let's say you're 80 years old, right? 80 years old, mom, dad probably dead. Probably if you got some siblings, if they ain't take care of themselves, they might be in the past. Or even if they there, they just old too. To have somebody, let's just think about this for a second. You're 80 years old, you're a red pill man, you never had no kids, you didn't get married because you're red pill. Here you is 80 fucking years old, arthritis in your fucking back, arthritis in your goddamn knees, old ass man for Christmas, sitting there watching goddamn Christmas carols and shit. You like that? That sound good to you? Well, that's what all of us is headed. All right, that's a choice that we got to. You gonna have your purpose then? 85 years old, got your purpose? How that's working out for you? I got my purpose. Well, you're 85 years old now. You still got your purpose? That's the hurdle. Wouldn't it be nice to be 80 years old? I'm not trying this way, one way or the other. You make your own decision. I haven't made my decision yet. Wouldn't it be nice, 80, 85 years old? By that time, for the people, most of the people we went to school with, if they're still alive, they might have great grandkids. And some might even have great grandkids. Y'all know some. I had guys. It's guys I went to school with that I seen on Facebook already been grandparents for like 5 or 6 years now. He had kids when he was 14. All right, he had kids when he was 14, and his kids started young, and he already a grandparent. Matter of fact, his grandkids should be like 5 or 6 years old by now. Okay, you get what I'm going? So could you imagine what he's gonna have by the time he get 80? He might have great grandkids. And they're all fucking early. But the point being is, wouldn't it be grand you 80, 85 years old and you got 8 great grandkids over, and You got 4 grandkids and you got 3 kids, house full of, and they families and they girlfriends, or you gonna be that 85-year-old motherfucker sitting there, talking I'm red pill. No children, no grandkids, no descendants, no wife. You didn't marry nobody because you red pill. You like that? Well, that's something that we all got to cross at some point. You want to be that or that. You can be 85 and single and stuff like that, but you better have some hella hobbies. That's all I'm going to tell you. And some good friends. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because at that point, you're not as spry. You can't just get up. See, like right now, you young. You 25, you 30, you 35. If you single, you just get your ass up and go out and do stuff. Go to the park, throw the little frisbee with your dog and shit. You can't do that when you're 85. You just can't get up and just move around and shit like that. You're probably on a cane or you're probably in a wheelchair and shit like this. That's the difference. Okay, guys? So it's something for all of us to think about. Now, let's get into these cons. Because them some good pros, right? You're like, damn, I do need to have some kids. Not so fast, my friend. All right, let's go with number 1. Make you work a job you don't like to provide. See, now we finna run into that trap. See, now you can't take chances. You see that? So a lot of y'all guys done heard me talk about the story that I was doing security work and then I became a personal trainer. And then I had come to a crossroad where the guy I was working for security wanted me to do a job for him one night, but I had to be at the gym early in the morning and he flat out just asked me, he said, you want to just leave the security alone and focus on the training? He texted me that. I waited about 10 minutes to respond. I wanted to make sure I was finna say what I wanted to say. Because basically he had come to a crossroads too. Basically he couldn't rely on me no more, so he needed me to let me know what's it gonna be. You're gonna shit or get off the pot. That's basically what he was saying. And I told him, yeah, man, thank you for everything you did, but I'm just gonna focus on the training. Because if you guys gonna be successful at training, you gotta live, eat, sleep in that gym. That's the way it works. You gotta, if you're gonna be a personal trainer and you wanna sell, don't be sending me no emails or no questions in the comment section about how you built your client. You gotta eat, sleep, and train in that motherfucker. You gotta live in that motherfucker. And you gotta talk to everybody who move in that motherfucker. Even the people that work there, ask their ass they want training too. I don't give a fuck if they sweeping the floor. Hey, you want some training? Ask everybody. That's how you gotta make it. I don't do that if I got 2 kids at home. Because I didn't have a fucking client at that time. But since it's just me, worst come to worst, I'll figure it out. Right? Worst come to worst, I'll figure it out. Do y'all guys get that? So right off the bat, you lose that flexibility to take those chances. I had a job, didn't have a fucking client, 15 hours a week on the floor, 20 hours a week, whatever the fuck it was. It wasn't enough to survive. You had to basically get some clients. There's no way in the hell I do that with 2 kids at home. Hell, even 1 kid. But if it's just me, I'll figure it out. Hell, even if I have to go to a homeless shelter, I'll figure it out. It's just me. I can sleep out my fucking car. You guys get what I'm saying? So if you have kids, you find yourself getting in this situation where you're stuck because you got to provide and you can't afford to take those chances like that. I was able to quit a job without even before I had my first training client, even my first lead. I was still doing orientation and I weighed my options back and forth. I said, well, worst case comes to worst, I'll figure it out. Okay. I couldn't afford to take that chance if I had 2 kids at home, or even 1 kid. So right there, guys, you lose the flexibility if you have kids. For all my guys that, if you feel like you might lose passion for what you're doing right now, just think of how many people are working jobs right now that if they didn't have kids and liabilities, that's another thing that gets us stuck in this. And that's what kids are. They are a liability. But one thing that also gets us in this to these things, we get into these points, we get new cars, got a mortgage now, and kids, and we get stuck into this thing where we got to work a job just because it pays the fucking bills. All right. At the end of the day, guys, you can weigh it in the way you want to. Yes, kids are great and this, that, and that, but they're liabilities. All right. They take money out of your pocket. I ain't seen no kid bring me money in my goddamn pocket. I ain't seen that yet. They are a fucking liability. Once you get into liabilities, you can't take chances. A lot of people can't quit their job right now because they got a mortgage. They got a car note. Fuck the kids, just that. Once you get those liabilities, unless you want to lose your money you already invested into it, you can't take those chances. All right. Number 2, can't save as much money to start your business or invest into real estate or stocks and bonds and stuff like that. Like I said, kids cost money. So the money you guys are able to save and do now to get it put into your business, whoop, gone. It's all for kids. Kids run through clothes. You look up, you just bought that motherfucker some shoes. You look up 3 months later, 4 months later, that motherfucker feet busting out of them damn shoes, especially when they real young. So you lose that little extra income that you could invest in starting your business. It's got to go to the kids. So you lose that. That's how a lot of people get trapped. I'm not trying to tell you not to have kids. I'm just letting you know that you put yourself in a situation to where you're trapped. All right. Next, can't be as spontaneous. All right. And I'm going to take this as in for my guys that are living with their kids, right? Obviously, a lot of guys don't. The kids stay with them. But let's hypothetically say you and your girl have kids stay together. You just can't be as spontaneous, which we take for granted. You don't think about it now because you just have it. But if you had some kids and you and your girl had some kids, you have to make preparations. You can't, your boy just can't hit you up and say, hey man, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I got to see what's going on with these kids. How many of y'all guys, that's why I give women the benefit of the doubt when they have kids, because I understand the situation. You have kids. I just can't ask you out Tuesday and you just say, yeah, you got to figure out who going to watch them and somebody reliable. You got to check with the other person's schedule. So there's a lot of shit that go into that. You can't be as spontaneous. And even on top of that, if you got somebody that agree to watch them, if they change their fucking mind or something come up on their end, you still can't do it. So you lose the ability to be spontaneous. You just don't think of it now. But trust me, when it comes, you'll think about it. We just take it. We do everything we do. We just take it for granted. We just take our freedom for granted. Nobody thinks about it. The way you're able to just move and go about and do this and do that. All these things we don't even think about. But when it happens, you think about it and you appreciate, damn, I didn't realize how much freedom I had. Next, vindictive baby mamas. Now, you say, well, my girl cool, AMS, I ain't worried about that. That's for them hood rat tricks. Here's the thing, guys. If they are always cool until you meet a girl hotter than them and you start a new relationship over there. And, oh, don't let her have kids or a kid. Don't let her have a kid. Oh, my God. You know what she's thinking now? All the money you could be spending on your kid, you raising another woman kid. Here come the vindictiveness. So you can't think just because the girl you with now is cool, everything's cool now. But wait when she gets scorned and you done moved on and now you done start a new family and you over there with that girl and her kids. Not that you spending more time with the kid, but you with the woman, so her kid is there. And it comes across to your baby mama that you love her kids more than you love your own. All right? That is an issue. And it's a big issue if you're one of the guys who actually want to see your kids, because now it's going to be an issue all the time because now she know how she can hurt you. This doesn't matter if you're one of those guys that like, you know, you take care of your kids, but you don't really care to see the motherfuckers, you know. If you're one of those motherfuckers. But if you're one of the guys who really want to love to see your kid and stuff like this, she can make it a hassle for you seeing your kid, all right, which causes you stress. So you're going to have these issues where you're dealing with these vindictive baby mamas. All right, just want to put that out there. I don't care how cool she seems now. Don't tell me. I don't give a fuck if she wake up with flowers in her nose every morning. It don't fucking matter. You won't know until you move on to another woman what you got. All right, or you fall out of love before she does. Okay, you won't have this issue if, you know, she ended things and she moved on. Oh, you good. But if you don't want her no more, or even if she ended things, but you found somebody else, you know, good, even though she ended things, all these are issues that I don't want to deal with in my life. It's undue stress. Undue stress, man. Next, guys, child support. And I know what you guys are thinking. Well, AMS, I'm going to take care of my kids any fucking way. And that's fine. I'm glad all you guys do. The issue with child support is child support, being on child support doesn't allow for a down period. What's the down period? The pandemic. If you one of the guys who lost your job during the pandemic, child support don't say, ho. We're going to withhold the payments. No, child support don't give a fuck. You know what they say? You know what they do when they put you on the news and stuff? Deadbeat. You're not allowed to have a downturn in your life. There's no such thing. Any missed payment, you label a deadbeat. Don't matter you broke your leg. You broke your leg, fuck you, pay me. Don't matter. You got hit by an airplane, fuck you, pay me. There is no excuses. They don't want to hear it. We all go through trials and tribulations in life at some point. At some point, we all gonna go through a downturn. That's why we have to have an emergency fund. Child support don't give a fuck. They don't want to hear it. It's no such thing as a down point. Period. Y'all guys are seen what was that movie? Disappearing Acts. And the dude said Wesley Snipes was telling this girl, you know, when I got, I give. But when the man would lay him off, he ain't had no money to give. She don't care. Fuck you, pay me. That's how child support. Now he wasn't on child support. You know, she didn't put him on child support. But the point being, if he was on child support, now he would have fell behind just because you got laid off. Child support don't give a fuck you got laid off. Child support don't care you got sick. Child support don't give a fuck if you got a lightning bolt coming out your ass. They want their fucking money. So you guys need to understand that. If any of you guys are going through financial difficulty or went through financial difficulty for a few months or something, just understand that had you been on child support, they wouldn't have gave a damn. They want their fucking money. Or you labeled a deadbeat. I think all of us plan on, if we have kids, we want to do right by our kids and be in our kids' life and provide financially. But we also are well aware that in life you go through ups and downs. Child support don't give a damn. They want their fucking money. So just know that. All right. Number 6, more stress because of the financial responsibility. I think a lot of you guys don't understand how impactful stress is. It causes depression. It causes mood. It is, if some of you guys right now are having a hard time sleeping at night, you probably got some type of stress in your life and don't even realize it. It just sits there. It's just sit there. That's why when you go get these liabilities and get these car notes and stuff like that, you don't even think about it. It's just there. That stress is just eating at your ass because it's a payment. It's an extra payment. It's just stress. When you have kids, you adding stress to your life. As we all know, stress takes years off of your life. That's what it does, guys. So if you're going to have kids, you're going to have more stress because of more financial responsibility. Not to mention that, guys know, let's just be honest, they kids. They going to be bad just like your ass was bad. They going to raise your blood pressure just like you raise your mom and dad blood pressure. That comes with it. That's just fucking kids. You tell them one thing, you turn around, they ass sitting there eating cookies, and you told them specifically, don't eat no fucking cookies. But they gonna do the same thing you fucking did. Think they sneaky and think they know it all. Like you don't fucking know what the fuck going on. I remember babysitting my little cousin them years ago. I think maybe I was like 12 or 13. And the little motherfucker putting glue on his hand, right? And I come in the room, he got glue all in his hand. I'm like, the glue done spilled on his hand. And I'm just like, dude, I was your age before. I done put glue on my hand, let it dry, and pulled the shit off. You don't think I was in kindergarten? We were doing that shit when I was in kindergarten. So, you got little kids that think they smarter than you, think they gonna smarter than you. And everything you did, your kids gonna do to you. Everything you did. That's what they gonna do, the exact same thing. And you're gonna be just like your parents. Like, motherfucker, I did that. Just added stress, guys. For all my guys on here that already got kids, am I fucking lying? Stressful as hell. You know what one of the most stressful things about them? They think they smarter than you. Like they doing some shit that you don't already fucking know and done. And last, guys, you're responsible for their fuck ups monetarily. All right. If you got a kid and let's hypothetically say one of you guys become a doctor or a lawyer or you worth something. Right now, if AMS had a kid and he go out and he hit somebody with a baseball bat, accident or not, don't matter. I can get sued because I have something. I'm responsible for that. Just like Nick Hogan, cost Hulk Hogan millions of dollars getting sued for having that car accident years ago. So when you have kids and you worth something, I mean, you don't got to worry about this now if you are the lawn scraper. But if you got to own the land scraping company, oh yes, your ass is getting sued. So you responsible monetarily for fuck ups your kid do if you are worth something. All right, even if you're not worth something, but people typically, if you ain't worth nothing, they don't usually come after you because you ain't got shit, right? If you somebody scraping by like another motherfucker scraping by and your kid hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat, accident or not, you know, nobody usually gonna come after you, you ain't got shit. But if Michael Jordan's son do that, hit somebody head, one of his sons or grandkids or whoever, sons, I ain't gonna say grandkids, I don't know if you're responsible for that, but let's just say sons hit somebody in the head as a 12-year-old or something, yes, they gonna sue his ass. So you're responsible for that. You're responsible for their fuck ups. Okay, guys? As all of us know, we like to only be responsible for what we do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Tupac. I don't know how to be responsible for what nobody else do. I just know how to be responsible for what I do. But when you have kids, you take on that responsibility. They fuck up, you can get sued. Okay, guys. So I gave y'all some good pros, some thoughtful cons to let y'all guys think about this shit. It's a decision that we all got to come to one day. The jury is still out on me. I don't fucking know. But we'll just see. All right, I'll get back with you guys later.